How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and 2022 has finished and 2023 has just begun. I'm incredibly excited for 2023 for my Pokemon collecting, but before we jump headlong into the new year, I wanted to look back at 2022 and take a look at some of the most exciting cards that I was able to acquire for my collection in 2022. I've done this for the past couple of years. I'll link those videos up in the iCards if you want to check them out. The past couple of years, I've done the top 10 cards that I acquired. This year, I could not get it down to 10, so we are doing the top 15 cards that I have acquired in 2022. Rules for this are fairly simple. I am a graded card collector, so cards that I received back from grading in 2022 qualify for this video, or cards that I already purchased graded this year as well. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Again, I could not figure out how to get this down to 10, so I had to go with 15. The first card, number 15, is this Kanazawa Milotic PSA 10. Just incredible, and I think this card is a good way to start and to discuss that, you know, I've ranked these cards based on my excitement that they're in my collection, my enjoyment of the cards. I haven't ranked them based on price or value or anything like that. You know, obviously a lot of more valuable cards I'm more excited to get in my collection. But this Milotic is not all that expensive, but it is just so beautiful. That artwork is amazing. These Kanazawa promos, I just love them, and I was really happy to get this Milotic in PSA 10. I have a couple that I'd purchased right when they came out, but I have not been able to grade them yet. PSA not being open, and these cards not being super valuable and really challenging to grade. Actually, the centering is can be a pain on these cards, has led to me not grading the ones that I have yet, but I did buy this in PSA 10 and I'm so happy about it. Yeah, this is just truly a beautiful card. One that I would say, if you want it, definitely go out and get it now. I think it's at a wonderful price right now. So there we go. That's number 15. Next up, number 14 here. Really excited about this. The full art Reshiram from Shiny Collection. Just look at the holo pattern on this card. This is incredible. This card ended up in the English Radiant Collection in Black and White Legendary Treasures, but Shiny Collection in Japanese was a full subset in and of itself. You got a booster box of Shiny Collection, and the Reshiram was one of the few full art cards in that set that you could pull. I'm not really sure as to pull rates or anything for the set. I mean, it did only have, what, I think probably like 23, 24 cards, I want to say, in the full set. But this Reshiram, amazing Kagemaru Imeno art, the roses in the background, it is so nice. And I was really happy to get this in PSA 10. Just incredible. So, moving on to number 13. Very happy with this one. The White Collection Pikachu Ultra Rare PSA 10. I am going after all of the black, white, full arts, EX full arts, and ultra rares set based in PSA 10. This was one that I was really happy to get because it is very hard to find in mint condition, very expensive to grade, or not, well, expensive to grade. I think it got upcharged on this when it did come back, but very expensive to purchase graded. So I was very happy to grade this myself. Really happy with that. And yeah, this is awesome Kuki Saito art. I saw a lot of people getting this card signed at the Kuki Saito signing when I went there. So just a beautiful card, and one that I'm over the moon to have graded myself and not need to purchase it. Moving on, we've got another black-white card, another Shiny Collection card. It is Mew EX. This is another one that I graded myself, thankfully. This, again, incredible. One of the best artworks in the black and white era. The shiny collection is so cool. Amazing holo pattern, very similar to the Reshiram that I showed off earlier. And again, this is a very, very pricey card if I had not graded it myself. So very, very happy with that. Again, just look at that beautiful, beautiful stuff. I have, there are two Mew EXs. There's the Shiny Collection Mew EX Full Art and the Dragon Blast, I believe, Mew EX Full Art. I have this one, obviously. I have not found the Dragon Blast Mew EX Full Art yet. All right, moving on to card number 11. Another black and white era card. Really happy about this. Empoleon from Spiral Force PSA 10. Gold shiny Empoleon from Spiral Force, just incredible. As I mentioned, I'm going after the full arts and ultra rares from the black and white era in PSA 10. So this was a wonderful addition to that collection, and a card that I've been waiting for about 2 years. This was a submission that I sent off, PSA submission that I sent off in 2020, right towards the end of 2020. And finally came back, I want to say in October, mid to late October of 2022. So pretty crazy. 2 years, this card finally came back, well, like 22 months, more or less. This card finally came back, and I was over the moon to finally get it in my collection. And really, really happy with this. You know, over those 2 years, the prices for these cards went up a lot. It became a lot harder to find them in mint condition. But luckily enough, I was able to get this one. This is probably my favorite ultra rare card in the black and white era. You know, Charizard, Blastoise, Rayquaza, those are cool. But personally, I think the Empoleon is my favorite. So really happy to acquire this card in PSA 10. All right, moving into the top 10. Next up, Altamir's Latios PSA 10. This is another one that I was incredibly happy to get back. A card that I've been looking for a very long time in PSA 10. I was hoping to grade it myself, and I was lucky enough to be able to do it this year. I think this was in one of the first value submissions, like the $30 value submissions that I sent off. And yeah, this is just wonderful. I love this card. I sent off 4 of the Latios and Latios. I was able to get a 10 of both. So I might as well pull the number 9 card in here, which is the Altamir's Latios, and show you these cards together. I just love these cards. I always love when we get like the latest generation Pokemon in an old gen style. So for example, Latios and Latios, they're Gen 3 Pokemon, but we get them in the E series, the Generation 2 holo style, or E series card layout. That happened in Gen 4 as well. We got the Lucario EX cards, we got Mr. Mime and Bonsly, some Gen 4 Pokemon in Gen 3 card style. Oh, I always like that. It's really, really cool and unique. And yeah, especially seeing these cards in this style is just wonderful. I love these cards so much. I got them signed by Mitsuru Rita in Toronto. Eventually those cards will come back from PSA and I will show them off, but man, those signed cards, when you see them, they are something else. So there we go. There's number 10 and number 9. Moving on to number 8, another card that I've been waiting for a very long time for, Trico Gold Star PSA 9. Really happy about this. This card, again, I had sent this off in late 2020 and it finally came back this year. So that was really, really happy, really excited to get that back in. And this card is beautiful. Personally, I think this could be a PSA 10. There's really nothing wrong with it at all. But if you think I'm cracking out a Trico Gold Star when it's already in mint condition, you know, we're not gonna you know, this card's probably never getting sold, so there's no point really in just trying to shoot for a higher number, risking damaging the card or anything. But this is so beautiful. Really happy about this. This is the only Rocket Gang Strikes Back Gold Star I currently have. I used to have a Mudkip and a 10. I ended up selling it a while ago, but just beautiful. Huge fan of the Japanese Gold Star cards. You might see a couple more of them in this video. All right, so there's 8, 7. I think we're on card number 7. The first English card. Check this out. Raikou EX from Dark Explorers PSA 10. I think I purchased this right at the beginning of 2022, and this is just incredible. The black and white full arts in PSA 10 are a sort of side collection goal for me. I'm not going after them really significantly, but whenever they come up, I always, you know, try to buy a couple of them every year if I can, if they're available. And really happy to be able to acquire the Raikou. This is a very expensive, very challenging card to grade. Dark Explorers, one of the most challenging black and white sets to grade. Once you got into the Plasma era, after like Plasma Storm, you know, and you had Plasma Freeze and Plasma Blast and Legendary Treasures, it was a little easier to grade the black and white era cards. But Dark Explorers, one of the hardest sets to grade. You've got things like the Groudon, the Kyogre, which are probably still in single-digit PSA 10 populations. Yeah, just very, very challenging to grade these Dark Explorers cards. Raikou has a little bit of a higher population. Not exactly sure why, but still, this is an amazing card. This is one that I purchased. I was not able to grade this myself. Usually I'm purchasing these English PSA 10 full arts, as God help the people who try to grade them themselves. That just seems a little bit fruitless to me. Unless you're doing things like, you know, big collection purchases, or you can really look over the cards before you buy them. Then I, you know, probably consider it'd be a good idea to buy them raw and try to grade them yourself. But other than that, I'm just buying them already graded. And speaking of low population Dark Explorers full art cards, check this out. The Entei. This is card number 6. So just amazing. This is another card that I purchased. Another one that I'm super excited about. This is, I think, another one with a single-digit PSA 10 population, or maybe like 10 or 11 or something very, very low. There are not a lot of these cards out there. You know, this card's 10 years old, and you think, okay, you know, when there's less than or maybe just about 10 of them in existence in a PSA 10, that is pretty crazy. So I was very lucky that I was able to negotiate a solid deal for this card. And yeah, just incredible. Entei EX, I am one card away, one card from a full Dark Explorers PSA 10 EX full art set, and that is the Tornadus EX. So maybe this year I'll try to find a Tornadus EX in a 10 to purchase and complete my Dark Explorer set. I already have obviously the Raikou, the Entei, I have the Darkrai, the Kyogre, the Groudon. Pretty sure that's it, but next up, some more Japanese Gold Star cards. Card number 5 is this Kyogre Gold Star from Holon Research Tower. I had picked up purchasing the Japanese Gold Star cards a little while ago, maybe last year or so, but I couldn't send them off for grading because grading was so significant. But this year, when grading opened up, when we started getting those $50 per card submission options, that's when I started sending off some of my bigger cards that I'd purchased over the last couple of years. So this year I was able to get back this amazing Kyogre Gem Mint 10. So happy with this. I had an English Kyogre Gold Star in the past, but ended up selling it. So really happy to reclaim that card somewhat with this Japanese Kyogre in a PSA 10. I don't really have any kind of set goal for the Japanese gold stars. Maybe I'll try to get them all at some point in kind of like any grade. I have a good amount of them in very varying grades, you know, anywhere from perfect 10 down to I think I have a Rayquaza that's a 3 or something. So I'm not picky on condition on these at all, but was very happy to acquire the Kyogre in a 10. Next up, it's another Gold Star 10, card number 4, the Groudon from Holon Research Tower. First edition, again, I'm a huge Gen 3 fan, huge Hoenn Legendary fan, huge EX era fan, as anyone who watches my videos knows. So Gold Stars, they're really expensive, but every now and then I do try to pick one up. And I got really lucky with this Groudon. I think I remember buying it. There's some pretty blurry pictures on Yahoo Japan, but I was lucky enough to grab it, and then it came back with the PSA 10 grade, which is incredible. So yeah, just amazing, amazing artwork there. Beautiful Masakazu Fukuda, and yeah, this Groudon Gold Star, perfect addition to my collection. Was so happy when this came back with the PSA 10 grade. All right, moving on to card number 3. It is another Gold Star card. The Gyarados Gold Star from Holon Phantoms. This is just an incredible card. Definitely one of my favorite Gold Star cards. The artwork, the matching red of Gyarados and red fire type of the card is next level. Delta Species is one of my favorite card dynamics, favorite card mechanics. And this Gyarados is just incredible. I was so happy to acquire this in PSA 10. It really shocked me when I got the grade. I was not expecting a 10 on this, but I was very, very lucky to achieve it. And definitely this card earns the number 3 slot in the top 15 cards that I acquired in 2022. All right, so the last 2 cards, number 2 and the number 1 cards that I acquired kind of go together. And here they are, number 2, the Giratina EX, and number 1, the Rayquaza EX, the lottery promos, the super rare card set, limited to 1,000. This is just amazing. I set myself a goal for this year to acquire, or a goal for 2022 to acquire these cards in a condition that I was happy with, and I was able to do it. I was really happy about this. It took me a very long time. Saved up money, was ready and waiting to acquire these cards when they popped up, and I was just blown away. I was so happy to be able to get these. This has been a long-term goal for me, something that I had wanted to do, but you know, the prices were always just out of reach. But this past year I said, you know what, I gotta do it. I gotta acquire them, and I did it, and I'm so happy about that, so happy about completing that goal. These are such unique promo cards and such unique full arts. You know, as you've probably seen throughout this video, I'm a big EX full art collector, big fan of the black and white era. And these cards are really unique in the black and white era in that the only way you could get this artwork is if you purchased the limited to 1,000 Japanese promo cards. I think they were released in Korean as well, but this artwork never came to English. If you want to get this artwork, you have to buy these lottery promos in either Japanese or Korean. I think Korean's the only other language they were released in. But yeah, this Giratina, incredible. The texturing on these cards is next level. Can kind of see it in the light here. In person, it's miles better. So incredible. And then the Rayquaza, of course, I am a big Rayquaza fan, and acquiring this card is just so amazing. Did have to go for a little bit lower of condition copies. Of course, I got both of them in PSA 7 quality, which I'm very happy with. I'm incredibly satisfied with near mint condition copies of these cards. As 10s, I think I'd probably be looking at probably about $12,000 if I were to buy them in 10s. Which is unfortunately not something that I can swing. But in a little bit lesser condition, that is definitely something I can do. And I think that's an important lesson. You know, if there's a card that you really want, maybe bring your condition expectations down a little bit. You know, these cards are still really nice. You think these are 7s, yeah, and they're certainly deserving of the PSA 7 grade. If we look on the back here, definitely some edge wear and stuff on that Giratina. But the front of these cards, they present super well. So these are by far and away the best cards that I acquired, the most exciting, the ones that I feel are the most exciting for my collection, and I was so happy to acquire them. So as you can see, 2022 was a pretty amazing year for me, kind of juiced by the fact that that PSA opened up and I was able to grade, and you know, PSA opened up at a speed that I was able to get back almost all of the cards that I submitted in 2022. I've received back. The only cards that I haven't are, you know, stuff that I submitted towards the latter end of 2022. But all the July specials, I got all of those back. All of the, you know, early $50 card submissions, those are all back. So 2022 is a really amazing year for me as a graded card collector, finally getting all those amazing cards back, professionally graded and able to add them to the collection. So let me know in the comment section below, what are some of the top cards that you got in 2022? What are your collection goals for 2023? And thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and stick around for more videos.